This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
All right. Okay. So I call to order the meeting of the Manhan Rail Trail Committee. It is Monday, June 23rd. It's 7 o'clock and it's really hot outside. So it's nice to be inside. I sent along with the agenda, the May meeting minutes. If anybody has any comments, corrections, or other, as we always say, accolades to David. If not, do I hear a motion to accept the minutes of the May 19th, 2025 meeting?
I'll make the motion.
Okay. Second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor? Okay. All right. Public speak time. We actually have some public here. Is there anything you would like to speak about?
We just moved the area and are looking, actually live on Coleman Road.
Oh,
So,
okay.
We take advantage of the rail trail a lot and are looking to get more involved in the community and support of it. So
terrific.
Yeah.
Then you need to join the Southampton group.
Working on that one too. Yes.
Right. Well, welcome. Thank you for coming. We don't really have any new business. As I was mentioning, we do have the bill for the trail project. It's ready to be signed, and I have an update from the engineer as to what's going on. I'll read it. The contractor, Western Eastworks, is on track to finish work by the June 30th deadline. This week, they will be completing final crack sealing and cleanup work. The contractor may need to return in the fall during the growing season to reseed their few restoration areas, and straw wattles will stay in place in these areas until growth is achieved. Except for reseeding, all work should be complete by the end of the month, next Monday. So that is about it. I did speak to Greg, the DPW. Hello. Superintendent today, and with the 400,000, they weren't able to do everything that they wanted to do. So Mandy, the assistant engineer, is already working on the application for to apply for another Mass Trails grant.
Great.
She's already got the application, and he said that she's already started to work on it.
Wow.
So that's not due till like February. No. There's Greg's the superintendent, Diane is the city engineer, and Mandy is the assistant city engineer.
I wasn't clear on what they weren't able to accomplish. What exactly didn't they do, or what did they do that with the money that they got?
I think what they did was they focused on South Street to Ferry Street. So they didn't really go any further than Ferry Street, meaning the cracks and things like heading to Route 5 along that area. They didn't get to that. So that probably means trees, cracks, anything.
Sinkholes. There were some sinkholes. Really bad.
So I think they had to condense the area that was planned to have work done. I think.
Did they use the same amount of money?
Yes, they used up. They've used up all their money, basically. They're just going to be lining on Thursday, and I think that's pretty much it.
Yep. The bill here, it says the original amount was $400,552.50, and contract sum to date. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. So, and there's a whole spreadsheet of exactly what they spent the money on. I can certainly send that if everybody wants to look at it, just out of curiosity. But
That would be great.
Okay, yeah. I just got it today, so I can forward that on. Just there's a whole spreadsheet and it tells exactly what was done. Crazy expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everything has just gotten more expensive with contracting since it even began. So.
Yeah,
I just think it reduces our chance of actually winning the Mass Trails grants if we didn't complete what we said we were going to do with the money that we asked for. But that just remains to be seen.
yeah. I guess that's kind of up to them to put together a really strong application.
Right. I mean, the question is, was it inflation or did somebody underestimate the scope of the work?
Did we receive slightly less than we originally asked for?
That's true. That's true.
So we didn't get everything.
We didn't get all that.
I think they did have to slim down what from the
Maybe like
original.
20%.
Yeah.
Original application was.
Yeah.
If they need additional letters of support, we can
Oh,
go through that process again.
I'm sure
So
they
find
will.
out
I'm sure they
and
will.
what the deadline is, and I'll,
Yeah. Isn't
I've
it,
got my list.
Alexis, is it usually
If the old woman
February?
changed the date.
It's
Usually
February.
February 1st, yeah.
Yeah, so there's plenty of time.
Yeah.
So hopefully this would be a really, I mean, we'll know for sure what's done. And they
Right.
should have a pretty good idea of what is left from,
Right.
what was planned.
Do you know what the ratio of people who are applying for a second grant get approved? Is it really low? Is it high? Does it depend on the
I
project?
don't know. Yeah, I think they try to rotate through the list, and they don't usually reapply, give to the same project more than. Actually, I don't know, so I'm just making it up.
I'm just wondering if we should look for other grants.
I say give that one a try. And I mean, it's up to the city now. I mean,
Right.
It's going to be, they're the maintenance people
Mhm.
starting next year. So I think if they feel like it's worth applying again,
If I could weigh in, new,
then.
just with Easthampton,
Hi.
is Tad Staley. Worked on rail trails in eastern Mass, particularly in the western suburbs. And one portion that we've recently gone back to the trails grant, we've gotten 2 years in a row, 2 separate grants in that field. So I do know there's precedent for them
Oh, okay.
coming back to the same project.
Okay.
Good.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, good.
Oh,
All right.
John.
Okay, John's here.
John Hancock.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, Bill.
You owe us 10 grand now.
Yeah.
Thanks, John. I'm off the hook.
Yep.
I knew he'd be
All right. So I think that's kind of an update on that. I really don't know too much more about it. I just kind of asked, and I urged them to get the bill to us because, we're only here once a month. So
I wonder if there's some way that we can be more involved with the process so that we can have some input on what we think are priorities. Because I think they walk the trail, and I think I said this last time, that I think riding and walking are two different things.
Well,
You can't feel the bumps when you're walking.
Yeah.
But you really feel, or the little sinkholes.
well, maybe what we can do, like now that this part's done, if you're out there, anybody who's riding, and you can write down areas that you think, and then we can pass that along to the.
We can also use the part-time senior tax write-off.
Right.
Yeah, I guess I guess, yeah. I mean, for obvious
I mean,
things.
Terry was good about marking.
Yeah, she was.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I walked it a couple of times. I know sometimes I'm not the really person in the world, but it seemed to me really good quality. All the seams were really well done. The cracks were really well sealed. So, maybe I missed something. And again, like you said, I wasn't on a bicycle,
Right.
but it looks pretty good.
All right. So as far as trail maintenance update, the only one I actually had an email from Terry, a text, and she was down at the area between like the Pascomic Trust heading towards Route 5, and it was really I'll pass that around.
Oh,
Yeah.
overgrown.
So I actually emailed Greg and I forgot to mention it to him today. That I'm hoping that they can get down there with the brush cutter.
That an entire tree or?
No, that's not knotweed. It's like
Huh?
bushes or, I think it's
Or the
knotweed.
shrub overgrowing?
I think it's knotweed.
Huh?
I think it's
Knotweed.
knotweed. Yeah. She said that's what she did a lot of trimming of last summer.
Wow, that's really low.
Yeah.
Down toward Route 5. Is that what
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, there's an area there that's always kind of,
It always seems to grow there.
get a lot of rain and it's just,
Yep.
Sure.
I just had back one shrub, autumn olive right in that area too.
Oh, really? You did?
Yeah, it was,
oh
well, it
geez,
was weighted down from the rain and everything.
Yeah.
Oh.
that's like almost all lane.
Yeah. Yes.
But
Actually,
I can't wait.
I did email Greg and I talked to him today and I forgot about it, but that needs to be, if they can go down there with the brush cutter.
If that's not where you can knock it down back with a tree trimmer.
I mean, I don't know, maybe it's some kind of a bush. I'm not I know that area and I know what it is, but it's really big.
Yeah.
So I'll email him again on that.
Yeah, send them the picture.
I did. I sent him the picture. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just beginning. All that, right?
Yep. Yep, but Better Pathways and they've both been doing their mowing, the trail side mowing and, the areas that we pay them to mow. So they've been doing that. So one thing I want to talk to everybody about is our kiosk over here at Union Street. Usually every year we get a mailing from the company that we bought it from. And apparently they've had some problems with the posts rotting. I know the Past Comic Trust has at least one of their kiosks too.
Yeah.
So they always ask you every year to inspect the posts to make sure there's no dry rot or anything in there. The problem with ours over here is it's all bricked in.
Yeah.
So I think we have to take out a couple bricks to see if there's anything happening below the brick line. And I've never done that before. I also think that the kiosk needs to be, we need to freshen it up a little
Needs
bit.
to be fixed.
It needs,
Yeah.
it needs some work. And I
Yeah.
think that what we need to do is maybe meet down there and kind of look at it as a group and decide how we want to strategize on fixing whether Rich can come down and help. I mean, it may need some cleaning and maybe putting some new mesmers or some kind of seal, something. It's just gotten all bleached out. The backing,
Yeah, the back end.
is all weird, and even the doors they've been graffitied and we've cleaned
Which
them.
one is this now?
It's right over here.
By Union
Oh.
Street.
It's our good one. It's the nice one. So the whole thing, I think, we need to meet over there and kind of take a look at it together and decide how we want to go about it.
Yeah, agreed.
So I don't know if we can maybe even set up a time.
Should we do it before the next meeting?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if everybody has their calendars in front of them, if we could kind of find a time.
It's too
Yeah.
hot right now.
Yeah, not everybody's here. There's some people here that I think it'd be good to have them. Evan, you said you were willing to help with that, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And I wonder even if there's and I'm just saying this because it's something that I've definitely seen, like the Boy Scout troop or something like that around here, that maybe they have some sort of a project to help us restore it.
Yeah, I think we need to look at it and decide
Yeah.
what it needs first. Yeah, and I do think that we probably should take a couple bricks away just to see. I mean, if there's something wrong with those poles,
We don't want it to fall on somebody.
I don't know how we're gonna fix it, truthfully, because we had to have a crane bring that thing in.
Yeah.
So if there's something wrong with them, I don't
Well,
know.
the email wasn't clear. Were they offering
To
to
replace
fix it for free, or just were they trying to get more business by saying, oh, it's time to replace? it?
No, I think there's been they have
There's been
discovered some issues.
So then why don't we investigate that? And if they're,
I think
that would be on them. to-
well, I would think they would replace the posts,
Yeah, I don't think
but they wouldn't
Correct.
install.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Yeah. But let's find out.
Yeah, so I think the thing we need to do is we need to pull back a couple of those
Yeah.
bricks and just kind of poke at it and make sure it's still in good shape, because we do need to make sure that it's safe.
Right.
I mean, it's a big kiosk, and if it ever fell over, it would be a bad thing.
But it would be worth responding to that email and asking them pointedly.
Well, let's take a look at it first.
Okay.
I mean, I've gone and looked at it, and from what I can
Right.
see, it looks totally fine. But if
Yeah.
I don't know if they mean it down below.
Right.
Like if it was just like the one you have over there at the Mutter Field.
Yeah.
Like that's just in dirt. Right. So you could just dig down and look at it. But this one's more complicated.
Do you know how old that kiosk is? Do you remember?
Well, Peter was here. I think it was like 2016 or 17. I have the pictures. I can
So
look.
8, maybe 7, 8 years.
Yeah. Yeah. But, all right. Is there any particular time that people are available? Any days?
See what the working people.
Yeah. Do we have any?
Well, some of
Or
some of
Evan?
them were-
What about Evan and Lisa? What are your schedules like? Because you're probably the worker people here.
Yeah, I mean,
Going to
I work from home, so I work from home like a mile away. So as long as
Yeah,
I'm out there for too long, I can probably pop over pretty much anytime.
Okay.
same. My flexible can be schedule. My schedule can be flexible.
Same.
Is morning good for everybody if we wanted to do it early and kind of get it out of the way?
Mhm.
Like around
How early?
9 o'clock some morning? What, I know what this is.
I could do that. Like maybe early next week.
I could do, how about, what, I don't know if people are traveling for the 4th of July, but maybe the 7th or 8th?
Oh, 2 weeks.
Oh, sorry, yeah, next week. I can't do it next week.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm already past that.
Okay, so
I could do the 7th.
The 7th?
I could also do the 7th.
Okay. All right. Okay, well, let's shoot for that. And if anything really strange happens, so Monday, July 7th, we'll meet at the kiosk around 9 o'clock. And it shouldn't take too long,
Yeah.
but we'll,
Right.
Monday.
and if anybody can't be there, they could go look at it.
Right, yeah, you can always
By
stop
themselves.
over and
What time is that?
9.
9 o'clock.
Is that too early? We could do 10 if that's better, but
Well, I think 9.
I
especially in the
like-
summer.
yeah.
Yeah, 9 is good.
Okay. Yeah, if you can't make it and you want to stop by and just look at it ahead of time and just send any comments, what you think. But okay, great.
Sir, key to open it up.
I have the key.
All right,
Yep.
so we can look at it.
Yep. All right. Any other trail issues? Any other trail issues that you guys are seeing? Anything? I was asked today, talked about, I was filling up the Little Free Library, and this person I know was asking about signage for people not announcing themselves. And I said, well, we've talked about that. We've talked about the speed of people on the trail, and yeah,
There's no easy
there's
solution.
no easy solution. But Alexis?
Yeah, so I did meet with, I don't remember if I told you guys this last meeting. I did meet with Mass Trails team and DCR about this topic. And basically they don't have any clear recommendations, but they do have examples from projects throughout the state. And also the governor is leading a micro mobility committee council. And by the end of the year, they're supposed to come up with recommendations for these kind of issues. And Walk Massachusetts and Mass Bike are on it. And because there is such a lack, I talked to Galen, my executive director at Mass Bike, and I'm going to kind of come up with my own interim toolkit over the summer, because this comes up at PVPC Bike Ped Committee as well. Like every trail is struggling with this. So I'm going to make my own one at work. And hopefully DCR and Mass Trails and the Micromobility Council will actually come up with guidance for all of the trails in the state.
I think that's a great idea because, I mean, we're all dealing with the same thing.
Right.
So if it can be dealt with kind of consistently, I think that makes a lot of sense. So
Yeah.
that's great. I think that's good.
So I'll try to get you something in a month or two, but if not sooner, it's on my list.
Yeah, and if you could keep track of what's going on the state level for that'd be wonderful.
Will do.
Okay. Any other trail issues? Anything?
We can talk about cultural chaos.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, Alexis, do you want to do the cultural chaos report?
Yeah, it was a little bit sad. Between the trail being closed, all the protests, the No King protests that day, and the weather being not great, we only had like 25 bikes, and we made less than $10 in tips compared to last year when we had around 80 bikes and $80 in tips. So I think it was just kind of a dud of a year, which is not surprising with the trail being closed. And I was pretty sad that the trail was going to be closed during cultural chaos. So yeah, it was fine. I mean, I was there, like you guys were there. We did great.
I mean, I still think it's good and we should still do it.
I
But
agree.
it was an off year, and for all the reasons you just stated. So I think we can look at it like that. But cultural chaos, outdoor events, every year there's, weather can affect it. If it was really hot, I mean, but I think with the trail being closed, that was probably a really biggie.
Yeah.
Asparagus Festival just got canceled. They didn't even try to.
I will just echo, like, we definitely would have taken the bike trail up into cultural chaos
Yeah.
if the rail trail was open. So
Right.
like, I do think that was a pretty significant factor for people for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was closed in both directions heading to Payson Ave.
Yep.
So
Right. Well, we won't have that. Well, hopefully we won't have
Hopefully
that
that
next year.
won't be the
Well,
problem.
no,
next year.
because they'll be working on other sections then.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
but it was still fun.
About how often do you have like a maintenance of that scale on the trail?
Oh, not very.
This is the
First
first
one.
time that we've had this
Since we
rehabilitation. We've done other little patches that the Friends of the Manhan Rail Trail paid for themselves.
Mhm.
I don't know, $8,000-$10,000 at a pop, but we can't sustain that. It got to the point where the trail is 20 years old and we just don't have that fundraising capability.
Right. But yeah, so
we
the
had to
trail's
go to the
trail's 20
grant.
years old, and this is really the first time.
Yeah.
So that's not too bad.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
not bad.
Just poor luck on our part.
Yeah.
to move in.
I know.
Kind of.
Well, now it's like.
I mean, great luck on our part, because now it's going to be
It's gonna
like
be
fantastic
really
conditioning.
smooth.
Because
Yeah.
I was writing it before the rehabilitation.
So
and
you know,
I knew the bumps. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you
were
have
quite
to
dramatic.
stand up on your bike.
That
brake
was
and-
it had been a long time since I'd ridden a bike, and this was part of the attractions for us at this area, was
Oh,
having
yeah.
the rail trail and being like, oh yes, standing
Yeah.
up where something is necessary. to
Yeah.
do. So
Yeah.
it'll
So-
be good to see the changes.
Yeah, so the section from Coleman Road to South Street is one of the newer sections.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
So-
section I think is pretty decent. It
It
was
is.
when you get into town and start
Correct.
going
Yep.
further north, that
Yep.
was getting to be
Yeah, because when did that section get built? can't even remember.
I don't know. I should write down all the dates because
But
we had things done at different times. We did
Right.
different sections.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, well, so
Hey,
it was,
it's getting done and that's.
yeah, it was still fun.
Right.
And the cultural chaos was a huge hit. I mean, that was a big crowd.
Oh, really? So.
Oh my God, it was packed.
Well, the weather improved, I think.
It
as the
was
day
actually a
went
perfect-
on.
Raining. For
Yeah,
for-
and everybody was streaming in.
Well, it was almost perfect because it wasn't really hot. Like imagine if you were doing it like, in this kind of weather, it would be, people would be dropping. So it was good. So, all right.
I just weigh in also, having just moved here, and rail trails were a big part of it for me too, because I love rail trails. It's a beautiful rail trail.
Yeah.
It is, and the connections too are fantastic.
Right.
The other bumps.
Yeah. Yeah.
And knotweed, coming here on a bike 2 days ago, had to, kind of squeeze over in the other lane and it was kind of tight. So, but that's just every stuff. You just got a beautiful asset here. So
Thank you.
for
Thank
your
you.
done. Thank you for the help.
I did forget to mention this during the trail thing. The woman who wants to put the bench, she wants to put it down by the Lovefield Street right there. She sent the check.
Okay.
So, she's paid for the bench and for the inscription. And so I sent this to the Park and Rec Department today and they're hoping to, order the bench after July 1st.
Okay.
So, but I deposited it today, so they paid $3,550. $3,500 for the bench and $50 for the inscription. So, and we've already met with the park, so they're gonna do the whole thing for us. Yep. So that's an update on that.
So there's no charge on the labor?
What?
No charge on the labor?
Oh, this more than covers
That
that.
covers it.
Well, the Park and Rec Department will do it.
They set that price, not we didn't.
We did, yeah, that's their standard fee. And it should more than cover it. Yeah, bench donation cost is $3,500. That includes the bench, the concrete pad and materials. Yeah. So that's good.
And Elaine lived on the trail
Was she on South
and she
Street?
was a birder. Yes, she was always out there. So I think that's why they.
Yep. They want to put in loving memory of Elaine Perinsky, 1954 to 2024, a peace lover and lover of nature. That's nice. Mhm. Well, that's about all I have. Is there any other news or updates or?
Do you have enough weeders for the garden? Are you?
No, there's some dates that are open. Is there
Any of our
anybody
new-
here?
Well, we have some new guests, so I thought maybe
You need
they.
some volunteers.
I've actually already signed up for this week, so
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Excellent.
So,
Good.
Okay.
I didn't tell you. I volunteered myself. You can volunteer yourself
Oh.
sometime, so.
Oh, speaking of weeding, so I'm sure that you've all noticed that with the completion of Union Street, they've done some plantings. And there's a pretty substantial planting right where the bike path crosses Union Street. I think it's on both sides. They've got little roses, they've got some grasses, they've got all this stuff that's planted there. And all I can think of when I see that is who's going to take care of it. So I actually asked Greg today, who's going to take care of it? And I don't think there's really a plan for it, which is pretty common. I mean, I think that we could tell our senior tax worker, like, especially this year, to just keep it neat. It should be easy this year. But going forward, Greg mentioned something about, I guess there's other plantings too, that maybe they could find a business to adopt it. I'm not really sure how successful that is.
Yeah, as we know,
Yeah,
we used to have an adopt the trail program.
yeah. So,
And you're just keeping on top of them to keep on top of the trails.
Exactly.
right. So when I saw all those plants go in, it was right on the bike path. It kind of really made me wonder who's going to take care of them. We have quite a lot of, we have enough to do just to keep this whole section along here weeded.
That said, it's always nice to have that as the entrance when people are on
Yeah.
Union Street. That's what they see.
So
for
that's
the
why we
trails.
need
That's
to make
great.
sure that it's maintained.
Really nice.
And whether you know, we add it to what we weed and what we mulch. I'm not sure. So sometimes it bothers me when things like this just go in and there's been no thought as to who's going to maintain. Yes, Alexis?
We could ask the bees committee.
We could. Yep. Maybe you can mention that to the bees committee chair.
Oh, who is that?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Okay.
they're looking for a project, they are,
Are they pollinators?
I
Is it
mean, there
roses?
is roses.
They are very not natives. I was like, oh, who picked those?
Yeah. I mean, but ours along tandem, the blueberries are coming along very nicely.
Nice.
The zinnias that I've had to plant twice are coming up well. I know they're not native, but they're pretty. Yeah. But, all right.
Bees had a booth at Cultural Chaos, is that right? Oh, yeah,
Did they?
okay, they were
Yes,
getting,
they did.
okay, they were,
Were they doing the
talking
pollinator?
about
plants?
the pollinator project across from Eastworks, possibly, is that right?
Oh.
And then they were selling milkweed plants.
Oh,
Well, I can give them some.
me too. They want milkweed. Do you know anything about any projects that they have coming up, Alexis? Do you know? No. Okay. That's okay. All right. Okay, so I have our next meeting is Monday, July 28th. And I guess unless there's nothing else, no need to drag it out. Yeah, so you're welcome to come anytime.
Thank you.
Sometimes we have more things to talk about than others.
And you could join the Friends.
And we have joined.
Oh, you have
Yeah.
joined the Friends.
Yeah, and I actually wanted to ask like what the difference in the scope is on the two different organizations.
Okay. This right here, we are an appointed committee. We're appointed by the mayor and city council. And the Friends is our like fundraising. That's our nonprofit 501c
Support.
Got it.
support
Thanks.
group. But I think we are at max on the committee. I don't think we have any openings right
Really,
now.
we should.
I know.
It's been a while.
I know. But we always welcome guests and you can be as active as members.
Right, these are public meetings, so anyone.
Yeah.
Anytime.
And we welcome volunteers.
Yep.
We
And
need
if
them.
you want to be kind of, eyes and ears for the Coleman Road end and, help John with the weeding of that end. John takes care of the roses
Okay.
and the gardens down there. So
Okay.
if you want to be the caretakers and trash picker-uppers for down there, we'd love it.
Okay. We will keep an eye out.
Yeah, we've had people attend the meetings that never wanted to become a member, but contributed.
You just want to volunteer.
Right, right.
We had one member who never
Not like we
became a
have
member.
status,
Yeah, we had one member, Peter, he came to all the meetings, was like a main member, was
so.
just
Did
like
more
every,
work than just
did
about
more
anyone
work than
else.
everybody.
Right, for 20 years.
Yeah, he passed
than-
away 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we miss him.
Yeah.
Yep, but all right, there's nothing else. Your
Motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn, second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Have a nice 4th of July, everyone, and we'll see you on Monday, July 7th at 9 o'clock at the kiosk.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.